This video is designed to prepare for interviews focusing on payroll. It covers the top 22 most frequently asked questions, along with their comprehensive answers. 1. How do you ensure compliance with federal, state, and local payroll tax regulations? I ensure compliance with various levels of tax regulations by staying abreast of any changes in the law. Regularly, I participate in webinars, attend seminars, and read the latest updates from the IRS and other tax agencies. I also use software that updates tax tables automatically. In addition, I maintain strong relationships with tax professionals who can provide advice when necessary. Lastly, I make sure to file all necessary tax documents on time to avoid penalties. Having an organized system helps me manage all these tasks efficiently. Being vigilant and proactive in this area is critical to avoid costly mistakes and potential legal issues. I also make it a point to communicate any significant changes to the management team and employees as necessary. 2. Can you explain the difference between exempt and non-exempt employees? Exempt employees are typically salaried workers, and they're not eligible for overtime pay, regardless of how many hours they work in a week. They are also not covered by the Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, minimum wage and overtime law protections. This category often includes professionals, executives, and administrative roles. Contrastingly, non-exempt employees are usually hourly workers. They are covered by the FLSA and are eligible for overtime pay at 1.5 times their regular rate, for any hours worked over 40 in a work week. They are entitled to minimum wage and have the right to meal breaks and rest periods as established by state laws. Understanding the difference between these two types of employees is crucial in payroll management, as it directly affects how wages are calculated and what labor laws apply. 3. What steps do you take to verify the accuracy of timesheets before processing payroll? I begin by verifying the total hours recorded in the timesheets, ensuring it matches the hours worked by each employee. If there are discrepancies, I reach out to the respective managers or employees for clarification. I also cross-check for any unauthorized overtime and verify that the correct pay rates are applied. In addition, I ensure that any leave taken is appropriately recorded and deducted. Lastly, I use software tools that can help detect and eliminate possible errors or inconsistencies in the timesheets. I believe accuracy is crucial in payroll processing to avoid any potential conflicts or misunderstandings. By incorporating these checks, I ensure that everyone is paid correctly for their work. This not only builds trust among the employees but also ensures compliance with labor laws and regulations. In the event of any discrepancies, I act promptly and rectify them to maintain the integrity of the payroll process. 4. How do you handle retroactive pay adjustments? Retroactive pay adjustments can be a complex aspect of payroll. When handling such adjustments, my initial step is to understand the reason behind the adjustment, as it could be due to a raise, a bonus, a missed payment, or other factors. Depending on the situation, I would calculate the amount that needs to be adjusted and ensure that it is added to the employee's next paycheck. In addition, I would also ensure that the adjustment complies with tax regulations and any other relevant laws. Finally, I would document the adjustment and communicate the change to the employee, ensuring transparency in the process. 5. What is your process for conducting payroll audits? My process for conducting payroll audits begins with establishing a clear plan that outlines the scope and objectives of the audit. This plan is used as a roadmap for the audit process. I then collect and review payroll data, including time cards, pay rates, deductions, and tax filings, to identify any inconsistencies or errors. I use various audit techniques, such as sampling, reconciliation, and data analysis, to examine the data in detail. If I identify any discrepancies, I investigate them further to determine the cause and recommend corrective actions. Part of the audit process also involves reviewing the company's payroll policies and procedures to ensure they are compliant with applicable laws and regulations. Throughout the process, I document my findings and present a final report to management. 6. Describe a challenging payroll issue you encountered and how you resolved it. At my previous job, we switched payroll software systems. During the transition, there was a significant issue with importing historical payroll data from the old system to the new one. This issue resulted in incorrect salary calculations for some employees. Upon discovering the problem, I promptly informed my supervisor and the IT department. Together, we reviewed and corrected the data import process, ensuring that all historical payroll information was accurately transferred. This collaboration ensured accurate payroll calculations and prevented potential financial and legal repercussions. I learned the importance of thorough software testing before implementation, particularly when dealing with sensitive financial data. This experience has made me more diligent and meticulous in my work. 7. How would you handle a situation where an employee claims they were underpaid? In a situation where an employee claims they were underpaid, the first step I would take is to calmly listen to the employee's concerns and gather all relevant information. Then, I would review the payroll records for that particular employee to confirm whether an error occurred. If an error occurred on our side, I would make the necessary adjustments immediately and ensure the employee receives the correct pay as soon as possible. If no error can be found, I would explain the calculations to the employee in a clear and respectful manner, providing them with all the necessary information and clarifications. Throughout this process, I would ensure to communicate effectively and maintain transparency with the employee. 8. What would you do if you discovered a major error in payroll just before payday? In the event of discovering a serious error in payroll just before the payday, I would immediately alert my supervisor or the concerned authority. I would then work diligently to rectify the error as quickly as possible. Depending on the nature of the error, I may need to communicate with the employees affected to explain the situation and provide an estimated time frame for resolution. I would ensure that I follow all company policies and procedures during this process, and document my actions for future reference. It's essential to maintain transparency and communication during such situations to maintain trust and understanding among all parties involved. 9. How do you prioritize tasks when dealing with multiple payroll deadlines? Managing multiple payroll deadlines requires clear organization and excellent time management skills. I start by getting a full understanding of all tasks required within the payroll process and their respective deadlines. I use project management tools to track these tasks and deadlines, ensuring that I am always aware of what needs to be done and when. I then prioritize tasks based on their impact and urgency. Tasks that directly affect the accuracy of payroll and have the nearest deadlines are given the highest priority. Regular review of the tasks and reprioritizing as necessary is crucial. For tasks with similar levels of urgency, I try to handle the ones that are most time-consuming first. This approach has helped me meet payroll deadlines consistently in my previous roles. 10. How do you explain complex payroll concepts to employees who aren't familiar with payroll processes? The key to explaining complex payroll concepts to employees who aren't well versed with payroll processes involves simplifying the terminology and using relatable examples. Firstly, I try to gauge the level of understanding of the employee on the subject matter. Then I break down the concept into smaller, manageable parts. For instance, if I need to explain the concept of tax deductions, I would start by explaining what taxes are, why they are important, followed by how they affect their pay. I believe in the effectiveness of visual aids, so I often use diagrams or charts to illustrate my explanations. I encourage questions and try to answer them in the most simple and clear way possible. Regular workshops could also be helpful to educate employees about payroll processes. It's important that employees have a clear understanding of their payroll, as it promotes transparency and trust within the organization. 11. What payroll software systems have you worked with? I have worked with several payroll software systems throughout my career, including ADP, Paychex, and QuickBooks. ADP was the most comprehensive and versatile, providing a wide range of functions beyond just payroll, such as time and attendance tracking, HR management, and benefits administration. Paychex was user-friendly and efficient, with a simple interface and reliable customer support. QuickBooks, on the other hand, was more suitable for small businesses, offering straightforward payroll processing and seamless integration with other financial management tools. I believe that each system has its strengths and weaknesses, and the choice of software should depend on the specific needs and resources of the company. It's also important to note that proficiency with a particular software is not as critical as understanding the fundamental payroll processes and regulations. I am confident in my ability to quickly learn and adapt to any new system that may be required in a given role. 12. Describe your experience collaborating with HR and finance departments on payroll matters. In my previous role, I had strong collaboration with both HR and finance departments. It was imperative for smooth functioning of payroll procedures. My interaction with HR was more frequent as they provided me with key data such as new hires, terminations, promotions, and benefits enrollment. I worked closely with them to ensure employee records were up to date and accurate. On the other hand, my engagement with the finance department was pivotal for budgeting and financial reporting. I provided them with detailed payroll reports for cost analysis and budget forecast. Regular meetings were held with both departments to review processes and discuss improvements. This cross-functional collaboration greatly enhanced the efficiency and accuracy of the payroll system. This experience has made me adept in managing interdepartmental relationships and has given me a holistic understanding of how effective payroll operations can contribute to an organization's success. 13. How do you maintain confidentiality when handling sensitive payroll information? In handling sensitive payroll information, maintaining confidentiality is of paramount importance. I adhere strictly to the company's privacy policies and guidelines for managing confidential data. I also ensure that access to such information is limited strictly on a need-to-know basis. Regular password updates and data encryption are practices I incorporate to secure digital information. Any hard copies of payroll data are stored securely and disposed of properly. I also believe that regular training sessions on data privacy laws and company policies can help in maintaining and reinforcing confidentiality. 14. What methods do you use to catch and prevent data entry errors? I enforce strict input protocols to ensure that all data is entered correctly. I utilize software that highlights or flags any inconsistencies or discrepancies. This could include abnormal hours worked, sudden changes in pay rate, or inconsistent tax deductions. I also perform regular audits of the payroll system to catch any errors that might have slipped through. These audits are performed both randomly and at set intervals, such as at the end of each pay period. I believe in the importance of double-checking all entries, and I always cross-reference with other documents or systems as an additional safeguard. This rigorous approach helps me catch and prevent data entry errors, ensuring the accuracy of payroll processing. 15. How do you ensure all necessary deductions are applied correctly in employee paychecks? It's critical to have a thorough understanding of each employee's specific deductions. I start by confirming all deductions that are standard for every employee, such as state and federal taxes, as well as Social Security. For other specific deductions like health insurance premiums, retirement contributions, or loan repayments, I make sure to have a detailed record for each employee. I apply deductions according to these records and double-check each paycheck to ensure accuracy. A good payroll software can be highly beneficial in this process. Staying updated on the latest tax laws and regulations also plays a key role in ensuring accuracy. In case of any discrepancies or queries, I communicate with the respective employee to make sure there is no confusion regarding their deductions. It helps maintain transparency and trust. In case of changes in deductions, I update the payroll system immediately. Regular audits are also part of my process to identify and correct any errors. 16. Describe your process for reconciling payroll accounts. My process for reconciling payroll accounts involves several critical steps. Firstly, I collect all payroll data, including payslips, timesheets, and payroll reports. Next, I compare this data to our company's payroll ledger, checking for discrepancies or errors. If any inconsistencies are found, I investigate and correct them. This includes identifying the source of the discrepancy, whether it be a data entry error, miscalculation, or system issue. After all discrepancies have been addressed, I update the payroll ledger to reflect the accurate data. Lastly, I document the reconciliation process, noting any issues that arose and how they were resolved. This documentation serves as a record for future reference and helps to prevent similar issues from occurring in future payroll cycles. My process for reconciling payroll accounts starts with collecting all necessary documents and data, including timesheets, payroll slips, and payroll reports. This information is then compared with the payroll ledger to identify any discrepancies. If any are found, I investigate the source, which could be data entry errors, miscalculations, or system issues. Once the issue has been identified and resolved, I update the payroll ledger to reflect the correct information and document the process and resolution of the discrepancy. This documentation is important for both future reference and to prevent similar issues in the future. 17. How have you used technology to improve payroll processes in previous roles? In my prior roles, I have leveraged technology to streamline payroll procedures significantly. For instance, I implemented an automated payroll system that reduced manual entry and decreased errors. This system also allowed for direct deposit, which eliminated the need for paper checks and reduced processing time. Additionally, I integrated this system with our HR and finance software. This integration ensured seamless information flow, leading to more accurate and efficient payroll processing. I also utilized digital timesheets, allowing for accurate time tracking and eliminating the discrepancies often seen with manual timesheets. To keep up with the ever-evolving payroll legislation, I used payroll software that updated tax tables automatically. This feature ensured compliance without the need for manual updates. Incorporating technology in these ways played a crucial role in enhancing the efficiency and accuracy of payroll processes in my previous positions. 18. What experience do you have with integrating payroll systems with other HR or finance software? I have significant experience in integrating payroll systems with other HR and finance software. This is crucial for ensuring cohesive and efficient operations within a company. My most recent role involved integrating our payroll system with both the HR and finance software, which streamlined data sharing and reporting across departments. This resulted in more accurate payroll processing and improved financial forecasting. I managed to achieve this by coordinating with both the HR and finance teams to understand their unique requirements and then worked closely with software providers to ensure these needs were met. I am proficient in using various integration tools and I am always eager to learn about new software that can potentially enhance efficiency. 19. How do you stay updated on changes to payroll laws and regulations? I stay updated on changes to payroll laws and regulations by subscribing to newsletters and updates from reputable legal and HR resources. Regular attendance at industry seminars and webinars also helps me stay informed. I often participate in professional development courses and I am a member of several professional organizations that provide timely updates on changes to laws and regulations. In addition, I use software that is updated in real time as changes occur in the regulations. Continuous learning and staying abreast of new developments is an integral part of my role as a payroll professional. This not only helps ensure compliance but also improves efficiency and accuracy in the payroll process. 20. What experience do you have with preparing and filing payroll tax returns? In my previous role as a payroll specialist at ABC Corporation, I was responsible for preparing and filing payroll tax returns on a regular basis. This included both federal and state tax returns, as well as any applicable local taxes. I am well versed with the latest tax laws and payroll software, which I used to ensure accurate and timely filing. If there were any discrepancies or issues, I would work closely with the finance department to resolve them promptly. I am confident in my ability to handle payroll tax returns effectively and efficiently. 21. How would you handle a last-minute request for an off-cycle payroll run? Handling a last-minute request for an off-cycle payroll run can be challenging, but it is not impossible. First, I would verify the request and its urgency. Understanding the necessity of the request is crucial. Once the request is confirmed, I would proceed with the off-cycle payroll run. I would ensure that all necessary data, like the employee's hours worked or any bonuses, are available and accurate. I would double-check the calculations and deductions to avoid any errors. Finally, I would process the payroll run promptly and securely, making sure to comply with all payroll tax laws and regulations. I would communicate with the HR and finance departments throughout the process, keeping them updated on the progress. I believe open communication and team collaboration are key in handling such requests effectively. If the off-cycle payroll run becomes a recurring issue, I would suggest implementing a more flexible payroll schedule or establishing a policy for handling such requests. This would help manage expectations and ensure that the payroll process is always accurate and timely. 22. What would you do if you noticed a coworker incorrectly calculating overtime pay? I would approach the situation with caution, understanding that errors can occur. I communicate privately with my coworker, pointing out the error and explaining the correct way to calculate overtime pay. It's crucial to maintain a supportive, collaborative atmosphere. If the coworker continues making mistakes or disagrees with my assessment, I report the issue to a supervisor or the HR department. Rectifying the error is critical to ensure fair compensation for employees and compliance with labor laws. By adequately preparing for these questions, you can increase your chances of performing well in your interview and securing your desired payroll position. We hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more useful content like this.